Well, hello and welcome to another edition of Health Solutions with Shawn and Janet Needham, where Team Needham discusses everything healthcare. I'm your host, Shawn Needham, along with my producer, Lindsay, and we are streaming live from downtown Boise, Idaho. You guys know how I love Idaho. Beautiful day in Boise, and it's going to be a beautiful weekend in my hometown. Super excited about it. And speaking of that, speaking of beautiful weekend and beautiful weather, we have Carolyn Stites today. She is a naturopathic doctor, and she's going to be talking about Vibragenix. And the big thing about Vibragenix is recovering at the speed of sound. It helps all kinds of things for recovery, whether it be from exercise or whether it be from injuries. She's going to be talking about that. And speaking of weather, she is an avid water skier and a very, very active person herself, as you can tell from probably looking at her. And she just got off the slopes from snow skiing last week. And she's going to be skiing this weekend at a private lake. So, but she's been skiing for the last, month and a half, Carolyn? Is that correct? Water skiing?
Water skiing since March 4th.
Good for you. So you're not one of those New Year's skiers,
No, we've actually done a couple dual ski days where we skied at the mountain, came back and skied on the water.
Good for you. It's so cool to see women that are active. I really love that. So thank you for being a role model. And
yes,
tell us a little bit about Vibragenix. We're going to be talking about Vibragenix, recovering speed of sound. You guys do not want to miss this episode. We are going to talk about a lot of things that can change your life and change the way you recover from workouts and from injuries. So Carolyn, with that, go ahead and tell us about Vibragenix.
Okay, so Vibragenix is sound-based whole body vibration, and I've been with this technology since its inception, which was about 18 years ago. Went into manufacturing about 6 years ago because I wanted to integrate some sophisticated sound frequency software, about 80 years of sound frequency research, into this technology because it made it so much more powerful. I'm all about recovery. I'm all about staying active. I'm 55 years old. I learned to water ski when I was 50.
Good for you. I love it. I love it. That is so awesome. I mean, learning to water ski when you're 50, that is not easy. First of all, slalom skiing in itself is very difficult, and most people can't do it at all. And you learned it when you were 50, so good for you.
And it turns out it's the greatest sport passion I've ever had. I've tried a lot of things. I've never fallen in love with anything like I have water skiing. It is truly my soul food. That's what my boat's named.
I love it.
Yeah. So for me, having a tool that's really good for anti-aging and for recovery, so you can stay active and live your best life, on through the last half of your life, I think is really, really important. So our mission is to be your best, to look your best, think the best, your mental, physical, emotional health, your vitality, be at the top of your game. Look great, feel great, lose weight, reduce stress, recover rapidly, improve your physical fitness, increase your energy levels, and turn back the hands of time. And I really think we can do that with the technology that's coming forward today. I also have a master's in nutrition, so I do believe you have to eat right. This isn't a substitute, but this is definitely something that helps us with all of those things. So we're going to cover a few things, a little bit of the history of this technology, of the power of sound frequencies, bridging the gap between Eastern and Western medicine, which is my passion, anti-aging, remaining pain-free as we age, which is extremely important, helping your body go to its right weight and stay there, and this machine is magic for that. The magic of cell voltage. Cell voltage is really the key to anti-aging, to great health, to vitality, to the body being able to heal itself. Increasing lymphatic movement and blood circulation. This does a great job of that, strengthening bones and muscles, and incorporating lightweight exercises. We've developed a series of workout videos that you can do on your machine, because when you're actually exercising with resistance on the machine, you tighten, tone, and build muscle up to 50% faster. And of course, rapid recovery, so that we can ski hard, use the machine, and ski hard the next day, or whatever your passion is.
That's right. Mountain bike for me.
There you go. You can mountain bike, use the machine, and do it all again the next day. So this vibrational whole body vibration actually was originally developed by the Russians for the space programs. And cosmonauts, they really lose a lot of bone and muscle in zero gravity environment of space. So they could keep their guys up there when they took vibrational technology 262 days. And they came back, they didn't have any measurable bone or muscle loss. So of course, NASA jumped on board. And that was kind of the origin of how this all started. The Russians were the next to take it into the Olympics, and they won something like 62 gold and silver medals. And all those medals were held until everybody was drug tested because they thought it was some kind of new drug that was doing this. And it turns out it wasn't. It was vibrational technology. It helped people recover faster, get rid of the lactic acid. It helped them. It increased jump height, jump length, their stamina, their endurance, all of those things. So it kind of gave them an edge in the Olympics, and it's actually used by multiple countries now. So the science of sound frequencies, this is not voodoo or woo-woo. This is definitely comes from the medical field. Ultrasound, you're all familiar with ultrasound. That is sound frequency-based imaging. It's been used for a long time. In more recent times, non-invasive lipo, skin tightening, pain management, that's all done with sound frequencies. And everybody knows about your sonic toothbrush and water pick, and it's used in dentistry quite a bit for scalar wave cleaning off the teeth. But our machine has about 80 years worth of sound frequency software in it. There's been extensive research done for just about every condition you can imagine. All right. So this is my big passion. I was raised in a traditional medical family. So the women in my family were all medical doctors, and that was definitely my path that I wanted to be on. And then when I was getting ready to go to medical school, I sat down with my aunt that I really respected. She's an amazing physician and surgeon. And I said, how come we're cutting out tumors and giving people pharmaceuticals, and we're never addressing the root of the problem? Isn't it just going to come back? And she said, this is the only tools that we get is pharmaceuticals and surgery. So this is what we have to use. So I went into natural medicine instead and became a naturopath, and decided there's not enough talk about nutrition in either medical or natural industries. I got a master's in nutrition because, every day we're building either better cells or worse cells, depending on what we put in our body. And I kind of went from there into studying energy medicine and Eastern medicine, and wanted to integrate everything together into a system where you could reach more people. When I had my practice, I could only treat one patient at a time. And this is technology that can do so much and kind of reach the masses so that people can, reach their ultimate level of wellness fitness.
Well, kudos for you for picking a naturopathic physician and talking about nutrition, getting more educated in nutrition, because we talk about on this show all the time, Carolyn, that there are basically three things that we can do to take care of our bodies, and that's exercise, nutrition, and sleep. And, most of us would not need traditional medicine or very little of it if we got all three of those. So thank you.
This is definitely correct. And I tell people that, every 48 hours you have new rods and cones in your eyes. This is how fast the body rebuilds itself. And depending on what you did in that 48 hours, your vision's going to be worse or better. So it really makes you acutely aware of how good the body is at regenerating as long as you give it the right things, just like you said. So the Eastern medicine portion of things really fascinating me because according to Eastern medicine, energy blockages in the body lead to all dysfunction, disease, and disorder. And those energy blockages can be emotional, they can be from trauma, they can be from surgery, they can be from a lot of different things. And that blocked energy leads to malfunction of one kind or another, either inflammation or constricted blood flow, which eventually leads to disease. So this technology was originally developed in conjunction with Qigong Association, and Qigong is all about energy movement in the body and releasing energy blocks. So is Tai Chi. 10 minutes on this machine is equal to 90 minutes of Tai Chi or Qigong as far as energy movement and unblocking energy. There's chakra balancing, and if you study Eastern medicine, if you have a blocked chakra or energy center, it leads to a certain set of symptoms, whether they're mental, emotional, or physical, like chronic conditions. And if you can just get all the energy flowing in the body, it puts you on the right path. The software also contains the ancient tones, the solfeggios. Interestingly enough, when I've seen people have what seems like a miraculous recovery after, maybe 3 or 4 sessions, they have shoulder pain. We have one testimonial from a guy that had shoulder pain for 10 years. I don't remember if it was falling on a horse or getting kicked by a donkey. He was living on ibuprofen 4 sessions.
Oh, wow.
All the pain is gone. And it's just because that was blocked energy and it got it moved. So as far as natural medicine, like I said, there's 80 years worth of sound frequency research in our software. So these are sound frequencies to heal the physical body, mental body, and emotional body. So energizing cells is the other huge thing this does. So after 10 minutes on the machine, you can actually on dark field microscope, you can actually see a massive difference in the blood cells. Otto Warburg, he won a Nobel Prize for his research in cell voltage. And what he said was, what he found is that most people walking around had a negative 50 millivolt, and people that are sick or got sick all the time had a negative 35 millivolt cell voltage. But actually healthy cells, the ones that actually regenerate and create a healthier body every single day, are 70 to 90 millivolts. And this technology is fantastic for raising your cell voltage. It's one of the keys to anti-aging and everything else this machine can do.
So I do want to mention quickly, because I know we want to let people call in for questions,
Yep.
or they can comment on Facebook. So I'm just going to talk about that a little bit. So if anybody has any questions for Carolyn while we're doing this presentation, please give us a call, 509-537-0411. She would love to answer your questions. We'd love to have a caller, or you can message us on Facebook, comment on Facebook or our YouTube, and we will respond back. So thank you so much, Carolyn. Please continue.
Okay, and then the Western medicine component. So stimulating the lymphatic movement, this technology is better than anything I've seen. And I don't know how many people on this podcast are aware of the lymphatic system, but basically there's 4 lymphatic vessels for every blood vessel in your body, and they parallel them and constantly clean out the bloodstream. And it is what keeps us healthy. Our blood has to stay very, very healthy, keeps your blood healthy, but the lymphatic system doesn't have a pump outside of exercise. That's why exercise is so important. It has one-way valves, and when we exercise and the muscles contract, it pushes the lymph up, the one-way valve closes. This machine has frequencies for that. It is phenomenal for that. It also increases bone density and reverses bone loss. There's lots of studies that have been done on that. That's really critical as we get older, and especially as women. Mm-hmm. So strengthening and exercising muscles, 10 minutes, as I said before, is the same as doing an hour's worth of moderate cardio. I know there's a lot of people that don't enjoy cardio, but it's so important. Stimulating blood circulation, it's great at that, and inducing rapid recovery from training and injury, or playing in my case. For the anti-aging component, this is kind of a godsend. There's a lot of people that have balance issues as they get older, or they're disabled, or they get pain with exercise. This is kind of the perfect solution to keep everything functioning properly. And like I said, I've seen people turn back the clock 10 to 15 years. My business partner is a great example of this. I mean, he and his wife, actually, they use it every day, and they've used the technology I imported before that. And she went from 12-14 to 6-8 and just stayed there, and she already ate right, exercised 4 days a week, but she was just stuck. And this was the thing that kind of took her body to the weight it's supposed to be, helped detoxify. And he's 77, and he looks like he's 55.
That's awesome.
Yeah, stays really, really fit. So we've already covered the 10 minutes, what it does for you as far as an hour of cardio, 90 minutes of Tai Chi. And the way it can do this, that sounds too good to be true, but sound frequencies travel through the body really, really well, and they stimulate 100 trillion cells at the same time, as much at the top of your head as the bottom of your feet. So it's actually increasing the energy in your cells simultaneously and making all your muscles fire and stimulating the bones. Okay, this is a big one. Pain-free as we age. I don't know about any of you, but I noticed, somewhere around 50, that I didn't recover as fast. And even with using this technology, I was just noticing that I need a little bit extra edge. So that's when we started incorporating more of the working out on the machine, which really changed the game. But there's frequencies in this machine for inflammation, for arthritis, for joint pain. There's actually a pain management program. You can pick the area of the body and turn on the pain frequencies. We also have software that does that. So it's phenomenal for that. Weight loss. This is exciting. We already talked about Linda's story. I did a weight loss and wellness study here locally at the Court Club, and started with 71 subjects. It was surprisingly difficult to get people to a gym that did not exercise or weren't used to going to a gym. But the requirement was 3 20-minute sessions a week, and they had to complete 11 of them in that month. 28 subjects did that. They were asked to not change anything We took all their measurements and extensive measurements, did blood pressure, heart rate, and weight. And the average weight loss was 4.1 pounds. And for 11 sessions, that's really not bad. Our top loser lost 21 pounds and 21 inches. But he's a business owner here, very, very sedentary. So if you think about 2 hours worth of cardio 3 times a week, going from 0 to, that's a huge ramp up. Made him lose weight pretty fast. Average inches lost 13.7. This was the interesting part. So we did a subjective little test. They were timed. They ran through and answered a bunch of questions, and they were on basic things. I don't think you see what's at the bottom, but basically pain, stress, sleep, depression, and fatigue. There we go. And everything improved straight across the board with everyone. So that's kind of a big deal, especially with the depression and fatigue. You never know if it's the chicken or the egg that comes through first. Right. Are you tired because you're depressed, or depressed because you're tired? But it really helped people in that department as well. And there's also frequencies on there for mood elevation, increased serotonin, and give you extra positive energy for your day. Okay, Otto Warburg, we touched on him briefly before. So if you can get your cell voltage to 70 to 90 millivolts, which you can do with using this technology, your cells just start healing themselves. That's really the magic. It's not the machine doing the magic. It's giving your body everything it needs. It's like proper nutrition, everything it needs to heal itself. And that's the one thing I saw 18 years ago when I first started dealing with this technology. It's like it was put forth as an exercise recovery device, but I saw people recovering from all kinds of chronic conditions over time. And I think it's the movement of energy blocks. I think it's getting your cells exactly where they need to be so the body can do its work. All right, so this is blood samples, live blood cell analysis before and after sonic whole body vibration. And this is just 10 minutes. So the clump change blood cells above, that is actually quite normal to see in people's live blood cell analysis, unfortunately. That means the cell voltage is low because the cells have an overall negative charge and the cell voltage is up where it's supposed to be. They push apart, negative and negative repel. When they do that, like the lower picture, then they have more surface area to bring in more oxygen and nutrients and get rid of waste products. So really key for raising cellular energy. That's really the magic behind this technology. Lymphatic, we talked about that a little bit and how important that is. Traditional medicine's looking at that as being a cause of many of the diseases that are found nowadays. People's lymphatic systems are just really, really congested, and they consider it the most neglected system in the body. So this is the best thing I found for it. I think rebounding, exercise, all of that's good. The VibraSonic also sparks the activity in the lymph nodes. So that really helps with the immune system as well. It's really powerful in detoxification as well. Talk about your bones and muscles. Okay, muscle mass. On the average, people lose 30% of their muscle mass between the ages of 50 and 70. I am bound and determined not to do that. So
yeah, we don't have to. We really don't have to.
But you actually have to do something to keep it. So you have to exercise, you have to do weight resistance, you have to biking, whatever it is, you have to pay attention, a lot closer attention between 50 and 70. You see a lot of people kind of shrink and get smaller as they age. That's not necessary. They need to stay hydrated, still keep doing all those active things, living life to its fullest. That brings in the recovery component, because as we age, we seem to recover a little slower, and this really speeds that up. So it can keep you in that active component where, I can go out and exercise and snow ski and water ski as much as Nicole does, and she's 25. So bone density, that's another big thing. I know you've done podcasts on that before. Bones thin the fastest between ages 50 and 60, losing as much as 15 to 30%. Lots of studies on bone density with whole body vibration. It is really profound for preventing bone loss, and actually has been shown to reverse it in some cases. As far as tightening and toning, all of that is done so much faster with resistance training on the machine. We already covered bone density. I think.
Can you clarify that? Can you explain that? So you actually do resistance training on this machine?
Yes. So
go ahead.
We've actually made a series of exercise videos, kind of like the Peloton bike. I was thinking, some people get at home, they don't know what to do on the machine. So as far as stretching, it comes with a set of bands, and then you have your instructional videos. You can log in on the website and pick a program that you want to do. Some are with weights, some are 20 minutes, some are 10 minutes, kind of trying to meet everybody's need. Some more mild, some more intense, depending on what level you're at. But you'll actually build muscle and tighten and tone up to 50% faster. And the reason is this is pure linear movement. And the difference between this and mechanical's up, stop, down, stop. This is a sine wave. This is all sound frequencies. You can actually play music through this machine. And you have a nice curve at the bottom, curve at the top, so it's gentle on the body. It's not jarring at all, but it does increase the gravitational fields. That's why it works in space. And that's why it works in the Earth's gravity, is your weights are going to feel heavier. You're going to get more of a workout with less weight. All right, 10 minutes. This is what it can do to you. Strengthen and repair soft tissues, increase muscle mass and bone density, enhance lymphatic drainage, increase range of motion. That's something we haven't really talked about, but for people that are injured, PT programs, we've had amazing things with athletes where they've been injured and we're not going to be able to try out for football or whatever it was, and pulled hamstring, treated on Tuesday, ran second fastest time in 400 people on a Saturday. So really, really rapid recovery. If you have restricted range of motion and you do your stretching on the machine, it's amazing how quickly you loosen up. It relieves inflammation, gives you pain relief, increases joint mobility. You lose unwanted weight and kind of go to where your body needs to be. Faster recovery and actually feeling great, which is the key. Okay, so the specialized sound frequencies, that 80 years worth, there are literally in our machines thousands of frequency combinations. And we have 3 different programs, and depending on what level you want to experiment with. But the frequencies for inflammation, muscle pain, and injury, endurance, injury recovery, lymphatic movement, mood elevation, lactic acid release, weight loss, and there's so much more in there. So it's very unlimited in what it can do. And then you bring in the Eastern medicine component and do the chakra balancing, ancient tones, and there's even brain entrainment, which a lot of people are familiar with binaural beats. We have a trilateral balanced sine wave program. So it's a beat for the left hemisphere, a beat for the right, and a bass beat for the midbrain. Very, very effective.
So do we have any video that we can show of actually somebody using the machine? And of course, what website can we go to, Carolyn, to see this stuff?
So it's Vibragenix.com. Vibragenix.
Now, do you guys do regular classes, or is it kind of a appointment only, or do you have regular schedule? How's that work out?
We on Mondays it's always at 8:00. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday it's always at 9. We have told people that if they want to come in at noon, we will do one at noon with them. But some people's schedules don't accommodate that, so they'll just give us a call, and we'll just have them come in and do one with them. I don't mind working out more than once a day.
Yeah, no. I mean, our bodies are meant to keep moving all the time, right?
10 minutes. I know I have a walking desk and a biking desk. I think sitting is really hard on people in this generation. It's the new smoking. It's that hard on the body.
Yeah. So a walking desk and a cycling desk. I'm jealous.
Just have to keep moving.
So is this a machine where you buy it and take it home, or is it something where you do group workouts like you're talking about?
You can do both. So there's 3 models behind me. I don't know if you can see them all. There's I think you still hear me. So the VibraSonic here, and then the VibraSonic Fusion. These are home models. A lot of people put the Fusion in their home. That's what I have in my home. And then you would just simply pull up and watch the exercise videos. And then there are industrial machines. There's 2 professional machines that hold up to 550 pounds. But we invite people to come in here and do a class with us as well.
And where are you guys located?
I tell everybody in Richland, Washington. On Columbia Park Trail, right by the water. So if you water ski, you can come use this, and then we'll go water skiing on my boat.
Let's do it. And they're manufactured. They're manufactured locally in Richland. Is that correct?
Right here. Yep, right here. We make them right here. This is our facility. We have showroom in the front. All the manufacturing is in the back.
I think we have a testimonial video that we're going to share.
My name's Scott Ellis. I'm a group fitness trainer at with Gold's Gym. I've been using VibraSonic now for about 3 months. I utilize it mostly for pre-workout and recovery. So before I'm expecting to have a heavy workout, I'll put about 10 minutes in on the machine, and what it does is it really warms my muscles up, and I'm actually able to perform at a little bit higher level as I go in to teach classes. And then as well as I can use it for a rehab after classes, where it helps stretch my muscles back out, invigorate my body, and then helps me go to sleep and sleep a little bit better.
All right, that was a great little testimonial video. Thanks for doing that, Carolyn. That's a great video, and hopefully it came through okay. So, Carolyn, I think we've kind of already you've answered this question a few different times, but I'm going to go ahead and put you on the spot. Okay, you weren't prepared for this question, but I'm going to go ahead and put you on the spot. Okay.
Okay.
What do you have a passion for?
I have a few passions. So as far as sports, we already talked about that.
Right.
I'm in love with, and I really, really love snow skiing. I have a great passion for healing people, and not just treating them one at a time. I think that is wonderful, but there had to be a way to integrate all of these philosophies into a system that you could reach masses with. And my goal is to get them in homes where I can and into facilities where people can come and use them. I know that the Pacific Clinic, they have 5 of them. So they run people through them. I think that if people can be on them at least 3 days a week, it will change your life. I tell people to come in, give me 2 weeks. 2 weeks of doing this 3 to 4 days a week and see how you feel. It changes everything. I've had people call me that have bought them in 4 days. They just can't believe it. Like this was an answer to their prayer. A lot of people have exhausted the medical system. They haven't been able to get better. And this is the answer for them.
I love it. So that's great. So if people want to get a hold of you, what's the easiest way to get a hold of you if they want more information about Vibragenix?
Well, they can email me directly. My name is Caroline, Caroline at vibragenix.com, or call. The 800 number is 1-800-761-0511. Direct line is 509-521-4661.
That's awesome, Carolyn. So you have done a great job of meeting the mission of our podcast. And the mission of our podcast is to educate and empower consumers to be in charge of their own health. And this is yet another tool to have in their toolbox to help to be proactive in their own health. So I thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you for having me.
And you talked about diet a little bit. You know how important that is, having your master's in nutrition. And you don't want to miss out, listeners and viewers, our next episode. We're actually having a Friday episode because this guy is from all across the world. He is from Australia. His name is Marty Kendall. He is going to talk to us about the science of intermittent fasting. And if you guys follow me on social media at all, my Facebook, I did a post yesterday about how I've benefited from intermittent fasting and the results that I've had. So he's going to talk a little bit more about it so we can go into the details of it. And he's going to basically discuss too how, there's some misconceptions with keto. And I know when I talked about eating lower carbs, that's the first thing people say is like, oh, well, you were doing keto. No, I wasn't doing keto. So we're going to go into a lot of that because nutrition is so important. So as always, thank you for listening to Health Solutions with Shawn and Janet Needham. Tune in Friday. Carolyn, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.